Namaste programs, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Rove with a brand new bush trip. I thought we were onto the Baltic ones, but no, we've got one more Eastern European. It's the Danube journey through Slovakia and Hungary from Malacky to Pécs. It's 540 kilometers, 2 hours, 30 basically with 6 legs. And it's leg 1 today, Malacky to Vajnori. Let's go. All right, let's get this started, and it's a live weather bush trip. I love those. The one we did a while back, whichever one that was. Although that one you had to start the plane up and everything, I enjoyed that as well. But this one, the plane's ready to go. We'll see if that continues throughout. I think it's an X Cub? Question mark? Yet another brand that starts with X. We want 290 for 157, a Malacky. After taking to the Slovakian sky from Malacky Air Base, set a course to the northwest. Fly over the low hills of the Little Carpathians, a mountain range situated to the southeast of the airbase. Sight road 503 to the southwest and converge with and follow it to the city of Malacky. The city lies on the banks of the Malina River, a tributary of the Morava River, which is a tributary to the Danube. A regional hub of commerce, Malacky has a rich history and boasts a number of historic buildings, including notable churches and synagogues. Slovakia and Hungary both possess unique mixes of cultures, traditions and histories. Although distinct, the two Central European countries share traits beyond their common border. Both are landlocked, both have been touched dramatically by migration, regional turmoil and change through time, and both have risen from the ashes of war to be successful modern standouts on the global stage. And of course, here we are programs. This is a Malacky in the snow. I love that. I love it. I love that we've got the live weather. It's the middle of winter here in Europe. And it's gonna be snowy. Purple Arrow is happy. We're going 270 for 318. The Morava River. Over Malacky, adjust course slightly to the south to get to a west-northwest heading. For visual reference, fly on a course equidistant from the village of Gajari to the north and Jakubov to the south. And if I didn't have my Google Maps, how would I be able to know that? The game itself does not give you any maps like that. Sight and fly to the Morava River. Named after Moravia, a historic Czech region, the Morava River defines the border of Slovakia and Austria in this part of Europe. Each nation traces its lineage to prehistoric times, and each experienced significant development throughout Europe's historic periods, notably the Roman Empire, the Migration period, the Middle Ages, and the modern era. This includes influxes of people through the centuries that dramatically influenced each country's unique cultural composition. As promised, we did in fact fly between Jakubov and Gajari, according to my Google Maps. Very nice, and here is the frozen, according to the algorithm, Morava River. We're just, well, it's just going on just off screen at the bottom now. We'll be above it in a few seconds. And we'll be on our way to the next waypoint. There it is. Ready to go. Thank you, Purple Arrow. 186 for 141. Reset our clock. Zahorska Ves. Turn onto a south-southwest heading and follow the Morava River to the village of Zahorska Ves, the westernmost settlement in Slovakia. A sharp bend in the Morava on the western periphery of the village is the westernmost point of land in the country. In the 20th century, both countries were members of the Austro-Hungarian Empire until its collapse during the First World War. Today's Slovakia became a component of Czechoslovakia after World War I. After a series of upheavals throughout World War II and then the Cold War, Slovakia detached from Czechoslovakia in 1993 through the non-violent Velvet Revolution, officially becoming the Slovak Republic. Yep, this is it below us. Zahorska Ves. Yeah, we're actually on the Austrian side of the river right now, which is the border, so we're heading back into Slovakia now. We didn't say anything about going into Austria. How dare we? How dare we? Slovakia Hungary bush trip. You're lucky Austria. We visited you. 144 for 3 minutes 7 seconds. Devinska Jazero. From Zahorska Ves, follow the course of the Morava River to the southeast. The course of the waterway is flanked on both sides by wetlands, forests and oxbow lakes. Fight the lake Strikovisko na Zidovach, no, na Zidovkach, maybe? And keep just to its west. Then fly over Devinska Jezero, a lake and wetlands that is one of the best preserved in all of Europe. The area is now... I cannot speak. The area is renowned for its biodiversity and its summertime bloom of white water lilies. Lovely. Hungary experienced similar political vicissitudes throughout the 20th century and was incorporated into the communist Eastern Bloc after World War II. Hungary aligned itself with nations of Western Europe after the Soviet collapse of 1991. The Danube River corridor has been a nexus of activity and development throughout the histories of both Slovakia and Hungary. The waterway, the second longest in Europe at 1,771 miles, has also served to bring both nations together through the ages. Since the first human habitation in the region, the Danube has been a natural route of migration and transportation, as well as a fertile ribbon along which to settle and cultivate society. Well, because it's all frozen, hard to know what's lake, what isn't. This is the town of Devinska Nova Ves, so probably we're above the lake of Devinska Jezero. Well, we want 155 for 326 now. Devon Castle. Continue following the course of the Morava River to the south-southeast, traversing wetlands, agricultural fields, and vistas of western Slovakia and eastern Austria. Sight the confluence of the Morava and the Danube in the distance. The juncture of the two rivers lies just to the south of Devinska Kobila, a prominent forested peak that is the highest mountain in the Devon Carpathian Mountains at 1686 feet above sea level. Sight Devon Castle, which lies on the eastern shore of the confluence. The castle is one of the oldest in Slovakia. It was built in part to watch over the important commercial traffic on the Danube and Morava rivers. Both Bratislava and Budapest, or Budapest if you're Keanu Reeves, the capital and largest city of Slovakia and Hungary respectively, lie on the banks of the Danube. Apparently we've already arrived, even though we've only been going for 1 minute. I was a bit late noticing the purple arrow, so fair enough. A 103 of a 235. Apparently there's a castle down here. This is of course the Danube. The Danube, as we should call it. We're getting to Bratislava. Follow the course of the Danube to the southeast, staying north of its northern bank. Pass over the low peaks of the Devon Carpathian Mountains, and then Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, will come into view. Modern-day Bratislava has been hewn through centuries of influence by cultures from throughout Europe, and today is Slovakia's center of finance, the arts, education, and commerce. The wide-ranging diversity that forged Bratislava is reflected in its varied architecture, including ornate 20th century designs, medieval castles, and modern 21st century creations. Most salient of Bratislava's structures is the Bratislava Castle, an imposing rectangular building that stands above the Danube atop an insular hill of the Devon Carpathian Mountains. Because Bratislava, which lies just 35 miles downstream from Vienna, Austria, is the only national capital in the world to border two neighbouring countries, Austria and Hungary, views from above the city, notably over Bratislava Castle, abound in beauty and historical evocativeness. This route traverses Slovakia and Hungary along the Danube, stitching together cities, towns, and endless vistas of both countries. It ends with an exploration of southwestern Hungary. Aviators will bask in the myriad views for which both nations are renowned, and they will gain an appreciation for the rich history and centuries of development of the two nations along the course of the route. Ah, such beautiful and historical evocativeness. Yes. There's a word that no one has ever used or ever should use, but good on you for putting it in there. Chuck it in there. 39 degrees for 215. Vajnori Airport. A turn to the northeast at Bratislava, enjoying the many views the city has to offer, and sight Platislava. Platislava? Hello, is this Platislava? Bratislava Airport, Slovakia's primary international airport. Vajnori Airport lies in a field to the north of Bratislava Airport. Specifically, it lies just north of a lake and a large railroad yard adjacent to the town of Vajnori. Land at Vajnori Airport to complete this portion of the journey. And I'm looking at the picture. I cannot even see there's a runway. So we've got a major international runway that we could land on, and the bush trip guy says we're landing in a field that doesn't even seem to have any airport on it, runway on it. Okay, I see Vajnori on the map. And unfortunately, because of the snow, none of it's going to look at all like what's nearby here. It does say just to the north of the airport, so let's start slowing it down. I just wonder if it's this bit here. I don't think so. I can't see the international airport in the picture. Start trimming back a huge amount. This plane needs so much trimming, it's unbelievable. Can I see where that airport would be on Google Maps? Kind of not really. Hang on, we'll try zooming in a bit, I guess. There's Vajnori over there. Really don't see anything that would be an airport. We're gonna have to look at... Although the purple arrow's flipped, hasn't it? We're not quite at Vajnori though. I guess I kind of feel like it's this thing in front of us. Gonna have to look at this. Where are we headed? LZVB. Alright, so it's over here somewhere. I guess that field over there then. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that sort of looks like the shape of the field in the picture. But in the picture it's green, obviously, so... You know, do with that as you please. So keep the camera going here. Try and land this thing on... What? There's no runway. In the picture even. There's a bunch of roads. Like paths. Come on, let's get these flaps down. I'm just gonna land in the general vicinity of the middle of that field, I guess. Not sure why exactly that's what we're doing, but we had a nice airport to land at just next door. A little bit odd if you ask me. 500. Yes, thank you. I wasn't asking you, but thank you for the 500. Maybe I'll land on this sort of path over here. I mean, it's just a field. There's no runway at all. There's no windsock. There's no markings. I'll just land here, I guess. Pretty sure we're in the right spot. No, look at this. We've got grass and stuff. It's not going to be a great landing if we even come out of the air. Come on, plane. Come on, plane. Wow. Oh my god, it's landing in the snow. They just don't think this through sometimes, I think. Wow, it registered. That's apparently the runway. Craziness. We just dumped ourselves in the snow. Leg 1 of the Danube journey bush trip has begun. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for existing. Au revoir. Goodbye.